Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's What If is a redo of What If Universe 6 was in Universe 7. I don't know why I gave them all a certain story, which I'm pretty sure no one would care. And plus, I know I can do a way better job at doing this What If. Before we start this What If, I do have a Discord where you can talk to me, grind for roles, chill and have fun. Also, if you haven't by now, why not subscribe? It's free and it's showing that you guys are supporting me and my videos and want to see more of my content. But with all of that out of the way, let's begin. What if Universe 6 was in Universe 7? Now we started off this What If with a little introduction. First, starting off with Kaba. Kaba had his own team and he was an elite and did do all his missions. Whenever he had free time, he would go up against Prince Vegeta. Since they were rivals, they both did respect each other, and sometimes would even challenge each other. Now going to Kel and Khalifa, both of them would be on the same team, as they would have two more members on their team, Tora and Fasha. Khalifa was the leader of this squad, and even though she was a little bossy, they did respect her. Khalifa most of the time would do her missions, but she mostly didn't like Frieza, nor King Vegeta. She didn't like being bossed around. But as for Kale, she mostly just followed her sister's lead. One day, Frieza did call for all the Saiyans to come to planet Vegeta. For Kale and Khalifa was done hearing Frieza's order and getting bossed around by him. She decided not to go to planet Vegeta. So she actually decides to lead the Saiyans and the Frieza Force. Of course, Tora wasn't fine with this, while Fasha, she was okay with it. And Tora tried convincing Khalifa that orders are orders and we must follow them or we'll be killed. But Khalifa wouldn't budge, so Tora decides to leave on his own, using an extra space pod. At the time Kaba heard this, well, he was destroying a planet and his scouter broke along with his teammates. And they nearly died in that mission they was on, but they was able to defeat their opponents. Unfortunately for Kaba, both of his teammates died on the mission. And Kaba was nearly dead also, but luckily his ship had a healing tank in there, so he was able to heal up. And eventually when he tried going to planet Vegeta, it wasn't there. He thought that was strange and thought that his ship was messed up, but it wasn't. Planet Vegeta wasn't really there. Kaba was confused, wondering what happened to the planet. So Kaba just wanders in space, trying to find a planet to stay on. Some time will pass by now, and the events on Earth will all go the same. Of course, Khalifa would hear everything on the scouter. She heard that planet Vegeta was blown up, and how there are these magical orbs that can grant any wish. She found that kind of strange. She was interested to hear about these magical orbs, and she started to listen more closely into the scouters. She would eventually hear about Namek, and she was decided to go to Namek, but she's kind of far from there, so it will take her some time. Once she does make it towards planet Namek, it's kind of too late and the planet's kind of about to explode. Khalifa kind of doesn't care and she wants to still check out the planet. Both Kel and Fasha are nervous, but they decide to follow her lead. They check out the planet and they know it's about to really explode. And they know since there's nothing on this planet, it's time for them to go. But someone starts to scream at them, saying to let him in. This is of course Goku, and he still hasn't found the Ginyu pods yet. And of course, Khalifa is shocked to see that there's someone on this planet, and she would like to question him. So she tells Kel to let him in. They let Goku in, and Goku screams out, telling them that they have to leave this planet now and fast. Of course, Khalifa doesn't like getting ordered around, but Goku does have a point since she does not feel like getting killed. So they was able to leave the planet on time before it explodes. Of course, Khalifa is ready to question Goku, but Goku passes out. When Goku did wake back up, he was patched up thanks to Fasha. Now Khalifa starts to question Goku and asks him what happened. and Goku would tell her everything about what happened on Namek. And Khalifa is honestly shocked about everything. Apparently those Dragon Balls was real, and this man Goku was able to finish off Frieza by becoming the Super Saiyan of legend. But Khalifa does still ask Goku if he can teach her the Super Saiyan transformation. Goku will most likely tell her no, since he doesn't have a good grasp on the power either. Khalifa gets a little angry and tells Goku to at least tell them how he got to activate the transformation. And Goku would of course tell them how he got the transformation. But Goku would also tell them that by filling their ki, they're pretty weak, and suggests that they train. Khalifa would kind of get offended by this and want to fight Goku. Goku would accept this offer, but he's not at full strength yet since he's still pretty injured. They both fight and Goku still has an upper hand against Khalifa, so Fasha decides to join and help Khalifa, but that doesn't change at all. And Kel will also try to lend some support, but that doesn't also change. So Goku will be able to beat all three of them at the same time. Goku will offer to train them, since he does see some potential within all of them. All three of them would decide to accept Goku's offer, since they do want to become as strong as him. So he would train them for a year. On Earth, by now, they would have revived everyone that died during the Saiyan saga and the Namek saga. Eventually, when King Code and Frieza arrived to planet Earth, like normal, Trunks would show himself, but with someone else. It's another Saiyan. This is, of course, Khalifa. And both Trunks and Khalifa was able to kill King Code and Frieza. Of course, the Sea Fighters are confused. Who are these two people, and they can both transform into Super Saiyans? Even though Trunks can't introduce himself, Khalifa could. So she does introduce herself as Khalifa and tells them she's a Saiyan from the future. While some people have questions to ask Khalifa, Vegeta is still interested in that boy and wonders who he is. Eventually a ship would arrive, and this being, of course, Goku, Khalifa, Kale, and Fasha. Of course, future Khalifa was about to cry in tears seeing Fasha and Kale again, but she was able to hold them in. Of course, present Khalifa is confused why she's seeing herself, but future Khalifa says that she'll explain everything, as they will talk to Goku and present Khalifa to the side, and they would tell them everything about what happened in their future. Goku would get a heart virus, and the androids would start attacking cities. All the Sea Fighters tried stopping the androids, but they all died. The only people that was managed to survive was Kale, Khalifa, and Gohan. A few years would have passed, and the androids would have started attacking more cities and innocent people. Gohan was sick of it and wanted to stop the androids, but he would have knocked out Trunks like normal, since he knows this is going to be his final battle with the androids. It's rather him, Kale, and Khalifa, or them. And of course Kale and Khalifa would join him. Why wouldn't they? So they would of course try to stop the androids, but that wouldn't go so good for them. Even with Gohan and Khalifa having Super Saiyan, it wasn't enough. And Kale, well, she didn't have Super Saiyan, but she did have Ikari, the Ikari form. But even with all of that, that wasn't enough. The androids was able to beat them all up. None of the Saiyans couldn't do nothing. They was all too beaten up, too bad. The androids was gonna do a final attack to kill them all, and they did send the blast towards them, but Kale was able to kick Khalifa out the way, and the androids didn't notice. But unfortunately for Gohan and Kale, they was both killed by the androids. The androids would have flown away since they already knew the job was over. Eventually, Khalifa would have gotten back up to see Kale and Gohan on the floor. She does runs towards them to see if they're even still alive, but they hardly are even still alive. Gohan has one final request, and he tells Khalifa to train Trunks for him. Khalifa said she would do that as Gohan dies. As for Kel, her final words was, "I'm glad that I've been with you from the beginning, and I will always be with you in your heart, and I will always watch after you from the afterlife. Farewell, Khalifa," as she also dies. Khalifa was of course sad, but she was able to hold her anger. She would make sure that both of their deaths would not be in vain, and to make sure to get revenge on the androids. Both Goku and Khalifa are shocked. The future warriors will give Goku his heart medicine, as they tell him to take it. And they also tell them that the androids would arrive in 3 years, so they're going to need a train to stop them. As the future warriors would take their leave, of course Piccolo would have heard everything, and would have told everyone about the androids. So now everyone will start their 3 years of training, and I feel like this is a good place to stop. If you guys did enjoy the video and will want to see more of this what if, the like goal for this part is 20 likes. If as we get to there, I will make part 2 come faster. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.